What is up, Star Wars fans? Welcome to the Star Wars Stop. Grievous has arrived, and in this video I'm going to give you my tips and tricks on how to absolutely destroy with him in Heroes versus Villains. Now I'll have a full comprehensive guide for him coming out soon, but I just wanted to give you a quick rundown. So I use Beating Heart, Sith Trained, and Cyborg Rage, and I have had a lot of success with it. In the background you're going to see a Heroes versus Villains gameplay I had today, where I totally felt like I had understood how to play Grievous, and it kind of, all the practice kind of came into fruition, and I was able to really destroy this enemy team just with all the different tactics and stuff I've learned. And I will say at the outset, Grievous is very good in Heroes versus Villains. Now, does Grievous have problems? Yes, he has quite a few problems, but don't believe it if people are telling you that Grievous is absolute garbage and he sucks. You can do very well with them. Obviously, you can do very well with any hero in this game if you kind of know a couple things and nuances about how they play. So that's kind of what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to absolutely destroy with them in Heroes versus Villains. So first and foremost, let's point one thing out. Grievous has very high melee damage, especially with a Sith Trained star card. You can just really destroy enemies very fast just by hitting them with your lightsabers. No fancy abilities needed. The problem is the hit detection is not too good on his lightsaber attacks, so you're going to want to really dash. Use your dash like crazy and your claw rush to close the distance and be literally right up in their faces when you're swinging your lightsabers. That's going to increase your chances of actually landing the hits on the enemies. It's already, really hard, but this is going to help you a little bit. Just really make sure you dash into their personal space so you can land as many of those lightsaber hits as possible. Now, getting on to his abilities, my freaking god, does this guy's abilities suck. Besides the claw rush, every other ability is just trash on him, unfortunately, guys. Sorry to tell you that. His thrust surge that Dennis Branville thinks is pretty cool is actually pretty damn bad. It will not work 99% of the time and has a very long animation, and more often than not it will just end up getting you killed rather than actually helping you. So I don't recommend you use it really unless an enemy maybe is running away from you and you want to just close the distance fast, but don't expect it to actually hit them and knock them to the ground like it says it does. It won't do it 90% of the time, so it just kind of ends up being a pretty big waste. You'd much rather just use your dash attacks to close the distance or your claw rush to get enemies knocked on the floor so you can just destroy them with your lightsabers, which do again have very high damage. Now, it's important to not, I know many people will get Grievous, and while we're at it, let's just talk about the center ability. The center ability, his helicopter attack, it's a huge gimmick. They saw it in the movies and they thought it would be a cool ability, but they didn't give it the stats it needed to be a good ability in this game. It's just not good, okay? The buzzsaw effect, I mean, you're going to essentially be spinning lightsabers in front of you. It's going to make you extremely clunky. It's not going to do nearly enough damage for it to be worthwhile. It's really kind of a joke of an ability. I don't recommend you use it at all in any situation. The other thing is it's not even going to block explosive weapons, so you're going to be very, very exposed and vulnerable when using it. So really, the only ability you need to worry about is your right ability, your claw rush. Thrust, because thrust surge isn't going to work like 90% of the time. Your center ability is just kind of useless, so all you're left with is claw rush. Luckily, claw rush, like I said, is a very good ability, and it's very fun. It's very versatile. It can get you eliminations. It can help you escape bad situations. It's just a great ability all around. So I do really like that ability. Now, what my point was I was trying to get to earlier was essentially a lot of people are going to see Grievous and try and play him like a Darth Vader because he's so big and he's hulking and he does high damage with his lightsabers, but you really can't do that. As you can see here, you get dropped extremely fast with Grievous in the wrong situation. I know I was just, pooped on there by Chewbacca, who poops on literally everyone in Heroes vs. Villains. Once he stuns you with his grenade and opens up with his bowcaster, it's pretty much game over. But Grievous feels much, much less tanky than Darth Vader. He has less health. He doesn't have damage reduction of any kind when he's, just swinging like Vader does with his rage ability. So, yeah, man, I mean, it's just kind of, as you can see there, that's another important thing to note. When you're using a claw rush, the little kick you do at the end of it when you cancel the animation will also do damage. So you can actually get kills with that little kick. And, you can do a little bit of damage while you're actually claw rushing them, and that little kick at the end will actually finish off foes for you at times. I can't stress enough how much Grievous is about just getting in close and swinging with your lightsabers. That's how you're going to get the most of your kills, and you will get a lot of kills doing it. He can very effectively slay a lot of heroes fast just by swinging his lightsabers like a madman. They do very high damage, and that's really what it comes down to with Grievous. It's really pretty simple. You're going to have to use your Claw Rush to close distance, use your Claw Rush to escape, and you're going to use your melee to just do very high damage. You can see here, though, you can get destroyed very fast with General Grievous if you're going up against someone that knows what they're doing. And here I just ran into a room full of enemies, so obviously it's never going to go well. But, you know, the most important thing I can stress is don't think you're Darth Vader. You're basically a poor man's Darth Vader who doesn't have any ranged attack, has, you know, poor damage reduction when you're at least in the middle of a fight. Your stamina is not too good. But what you do have going for you is Claw Rush, which is going to help you knock down a lot of enemies and just do damage in general. And you do have very high damage on your lightsaber swings. Obviously, I'm going to have a full guide coming out. It's going to give you a lot more tips on how to own with Grievous. But I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on how you can kind of destroy with him in Heroes vs. Villains, because that's going to be your best way to level him up. And, you know, as you can see in this gameplay, I did lead in eliminations. I didn't die very often. I was pretty much controlling the pace of the game because of I'd kind of gotten the hang of Grievous by this point. And I just wanted to kind of impart my early tips and impressions of Grievous in this video. But I'll have a full guide, like I said, coming out pretty soon. But I hope I was able to answer some questions and give you some tips on how to destroy. Be sure to rate, like, comment, subscribe, stay on tons and tons of Star Wars content. Have an awesome day, guys. Stay tuned.